Once upon a time, in a land far, far away in the town of Novgorod, there were a group of traveling musicians. They entertained people at the marketplace with their music and song. With them was a marvelous musician by the name of Sadko, who had gained great popularity among the townsfolk, regaling them with lovely tunes which he played on the dulcimer. Gather round, friends of the town, hear us sing and dance and play, and if we please you throw a crown and we can stay one more day, said the manager. This dulcimer was not an ordinary instrument, for hardly would Sadko pluck the sonorous strings. The pretty maidens, hearing the music, would want to be near him and gain his attention. One caught his eye, and over her father's protest, he wooed her. For Sadko himself had fallen in love with this dark-haired maiden, and she had fallen in love with him. She declared her love for Sadko openly by crowning him with her wreath of beautiful spring flowers. Sadko was filled with joy, and his musicians played on. And so, with a full heart, Sadko played his dulcimer with even greater joy. And the music was sweeter and more beautiful than ever. The local merchants so enjoyed the music that they insisted Sadko join them at their daily feasts. Come, Sadko, play for us at our table, they said. Yes, we have wine and sweets. And even gifts. Sadko was quite flattered, and overwhelmed by their flattery, agreed to join them. Alas, the dark-haired maiden who pledged her love to him was left all alone. At the banquet room, Sadko indeed was treated to wine and fine foods, sweets, and gifts of gold. And in return, Sadko played for his benefactors on his beautiful dulcimer, who treated him to even more wine. And the feasts continued, day after day. One night, the merchants began boasting. One boasted of his riches, another of his beautiful wife, and another of his strength. And the wine flowed freely. One day was like another, and the night blended into morning. And still Sadko played. The city slept quietly, but the feast in the banquet room continued. One night, a guest brought out a golden parrot in a golden cage, a mechanical bird that tweeted a mechanical song. This guest said, "There is nothing in the world like Sadko's music. It's even better than this mechanical golden parrot." Sadko realized he was the butt of a joke. He felt quite hurt and despondent. I do not wish to be a buffoon, he thought, compared to a mechanical parrot that spouts nonsense. Sad and dejected, Sadko spent his nights by the river alone, forgotten by the merchants who lured him away from his musician friends and his sweetheart. Sadko Sadko became more affected by the insult, and he stayed by the river day after day, night after night, brooding. Even his true love could not help him shake his mood. But she came and stood near him. Beneath the blue waters, the king of the sea felt quite sad. For this king used to hear the sounds of Sadko's dulcimer, and he was charmed by the beauty of the music. And then, miracle of miracles, the king came to the surface and addressed Sadko. "Never have I heard anyone play like you," he cried. "Never has a dulcimer given such sweet melodious sounds to the ear. Please, Sadko, give me your dulcimer, and in return I will give you a valuable gift of gold. You'll be the richest man in Novgorod, and all you have to do is bet your head that you will catch a fish with a golden fin, in the Ilmen Lake. And then you can take vengeance for the insults the merchants dealt to you." Sadko's sweetheart asked him not to listen to such words and begged him not to give up his greatest treasure, his dulcimer. But Sadko wanted his revenge so much he allowed his dulcimer to sink into the waters with the king of the sea. And so Sadko bet his head that he would catch a fish with a golden fin. The local townspeople and merchants took him up on his bet and gathered at the shore to watch Sadko as he cast his net into the sea. Time after time, Sadko would cast his net, and each time he would pull in only a common mudfish. While behind him, the town executioner waited to collect the bet, Sadko's head. And again Sadko cast his net, and again the townspeople laughed. The executioner was waiting. In one final and desperate attempt, Sadko cast his net, and it was at that time the king of the sea, who had been quite busy in his underwater kingdom trying to play the dulcimer, suddenly remembered his promise. As the net dragged along the bottom, the king made sure that the promise was fulfilled. When Sadko's net came up, lo, in it was a beautiful fish with a golden fin. Sadko won his bet. And now Sadko's coffers filled with riches, for money poured into his pockets. How excited everybody was over Sadko's bet. Sadko had become a rich man. He bought himself a beautiful, large castle. And everything in his castle was gold. He kept adding treasure upon treasure upon treasure. "Look at all I have," he boasted. "I will bet everything that you have, that none of you can compete with me." And so he won his bets. Again and again and again. Until many lost everything they had. Even the clothes off their backs. But Sadko continued to bet. And he began to buy. "I will buy everything you have. All goods, good or bad. And you'll know more goods, filling his coffers and his closets, and on and on. But Sadko was beginning to lose all his money buying all these goods. And his heart had grown cold, and he had forgotten his friends, and worse yet, he had forsaken the one true love of his life, the faithful, dark-haired maiden. One day, Sadko's joy began to fade, for he realized his friends were no longer near him, and his true love was not at his side. His coffers began to shrink. And so, foolishly, Sadko made yet another bet. I will equip 30 ships. And so he equipped 30 beautiful ships and set sail to foreign countries to trade and thereby regain his disappearing fortune. And regain his fortune he did. And his ships laden with treasure were returning to Novgorod. But still the dark-haired maiden waited. On his way back, a terrible storm began to brew. The water churned and tossed the ships about. The ships were tossed about like toys on the water. As they twisted and turned in the churning waves, it was as if a giant hand had reached out, torn the ship, and anchored it to the spot. And yet the storm raged on around them. Sadko thought and thought, and feared that perhaps the king of the sea was angry. He must appease him. But how? He then threw a huge barrel of gold coins into the waters as tribute. Still the tempest raged on. It is me the king of the sea wants. Sadko knew what he must do. And to save his ships and men, Sadko threw himself into the turbulent waters. Down, down he floated to the sandy loam in the underwater kingdom, right before the underwater king. You have deceived me. You gave me a dulcimer that doesn't play music, the king screeched. Take him away. Undaunted, Sadko answered, the dulcimer doesn't play by itself. One must have clever hands to play it. And so Sadko began to play it again. At the first sounds, the king of the sea was delighted. And soon, he began to dance with joy as the music played on. The king began moving in time to the music until he started dancing with joy. The other creatures of the sea joined him. And soon the dancing created such a disturbance that the waves began dashing the ships to pieces, sending their cargo to the bottom of the sea. All the treasures had now reached the king of the sea again. Exhausted from his frenzied dance, the king stopped his whirling. The music ended, and the waters were quiet. The king looked about him and saw what riches had come down to him and what excitement Sadko's music had created. The king summoned his princesses before him and offered Sadko a reward for the joy that Sadko had given him. All the riches of the sea and a life in his kingdom forever. You can marry a sea princess. Choose any bride your heart desires, he offered. But meanwhile, at the shore, Sadko's true love waited and waited. She dropped her floral wreath into its blue waters. And as it drifted down, it touched Sadko's shoulder. As if awakening from a dream, Sadko saw once again the face of his beloved dark-haired maiden. And he realized all too keenly what he had sacrificed. With one great effort, he forced himself to the surface. His beloved, singing his struggle, threw herself into the sea. Together, with the power of their love, made it safely to shore. Richer than ever. He has his old and true friends near him, his beautiful and faithful wife, and his dulcimer. And one day, healthy, happy children. Come, friends, share our joy. We can sing and play and dance for you. We have our friend Sadko and his dulcimer once again. Remember, all stories have an ending, and this is a happy ending that leads to a happy beginning. Only do what good begets, for goodness brings you no regrets.